All right, I'm showing that it's 2:01. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. We'll do the statement announcement. A news release announcing the date, time, and place of the April 3rd, 2019 Finance and Audit Committee meeting was distributed March 28th, 2019 to appropriate media and other groups or individuals who have requested notification. The announcement and agenda were posted at the Department of Disabilities and Special Needs Central Administrative Office and on the website. The public has been notified that accommodations such as interpreters, mobility assistance, or other assistance will be provided to individuals with disabilities and special needs if requested in advance. Next item on the agenda, after the call to order, is the adoption of the agenda. Since
I'll move to adopt.
Right now it's just me and Sam on the committee. We won't have motions. We'll just call for a vote. Sam, are you in favor of adopting the agenda as proposed?
Yes.
And I believe we just had someone else join us on a phone. Vicky, is that you again?
It's me, and I don't know how to turn that noise off. Hang on.
Give just 1 second. Any luck, Vicky?
This is Lori. I'm on. What's going on?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Vicky was working on something. I was just making sure she was okay.
Okay.
Hey, Laura, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay.
Okay, I'm done. I'm ready.
Okay.
Do we need
Thanks,
to be
Vicky.
on Skype?
All right.
Do we need to be on Skype? Can you hear me?
We don't.
We need to be on
I can hear you.
the Skype.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. But my question is, do we need to be on Skype? My computer is malfunctioning and I can't get on. So I can hear you, but I don't have anything pulled up.
No, I mean, we don't have any documentation prepared. We just sent out the documents for review,
Okay.
so we don't have any overheads or anything that we would be showing.
Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, Sam, do you approve the adoption of the agenda as proposed?
I do.
Okay. I do as well, so the agenda will be adopted. Moving on to item number 3, which is the review and approval of audit directives for financial reporting. The first is Directive 275-04-DD, procedures for implementation of GDSN audit policy for DSN boards. This was previously sent out, as Kevin indicated just a moment ago, but can I have staff please review for us what the functional changes to this directive are?
Absolutely. First of all, thank y'all for taking the time this afternoon, and hopefully we'll get through this quickly and let you get back with your day. So we have the CPAs that'll be out of the board starting in May to start their preliminary work. So we wanted to get this approved and get it out so we could get it in their hands. Primarily, it's just to some grammatical errors and cleaning up as we move forward, starting July 1 with early intervention becoming a fee for service. Some of the requirements we have will be going away, and so it's basically cleaning the document up to remove the reference to prior requirements we had for that. And I don't know moving forward if we just want to step through each page with changes. If y'all have had a chance to review, if you want to ask any questions, Gary, what would be your preference on how to move forward?
That's the first question. Does anyone attending the meeting at this point in time have any questions with regard to the directive and the changes as outlined just by Kevin?
Not me. It looked pretty straightforward as far as I could tell.
Am I actually on this committee?
Anything?
Am I actually on this
No,
committee?
you're not.
We appreciate
Okay.
your attendance, but
No.
not officially.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I just wanted to make sure. That's what I thought. No, I have no
I
comment.
just want to make sure, Lori, this is Gary. You can hear me? Lori, you can hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so the committee as exists right now, because of our short numbers, is Sam and I.
Okay.
Vicki, any questions or comments?
I don't have the draft policies for some reason. I was just looking for them in my email. Would those have been sent by Sandra?
Should have
Yes.
been, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
On Thursday of last week.
I don't think I have them
I'm
either.
not
All I
sure
can find
Sam
is,
sent it to everyone. Okay.
yeah, probably just the committee.
Okay. All right. So, given the fact that not everybody has them, Kevin, let's go through them in some more detail, if you could,
Absolutely.
with where the changes are within it.
All right, so we're going to start, again, this is
And let's just go
275.
page by page.
Right, 27504. And the only reason I mention this is because as we
Yes.
move into 27506, you're going to see the changes are repetitive because a lot of the verbiage is the same. So really, when we step through one, we've almost stepped through the second one. So 27504, the first change we had was on page 7. At the top of the page, item C, determine if DSBN boards are paying all early interventionists and direct care staff the established minimum salary or hourly wage. We're striking early interventionists there and the minimum salary, because again, effective July 1st, that will go away because that will become a fee for service. Item D, we just made a grammatical change, determine that the DSN boards have instead of has. Moving a little further down that page, this is their, again, same directive. They're talking about the report on applying agreed upon procedures, page 7, middle of the page. Item 1A, where we talk, given steps to the auditor, it spells out specific supervisors that they should be talking to when they're looking at Medicaid billing. Again, because of the changes we have coming up in fee-for-service, we're just deleting like EI supervisors and specific titles and just telling them talk to program staff supervisors that are responsible for that specific Medicaid area. Bottom of the page where we ask tell the auditor to select a representative sample. Again, we're telling them for Medicaid billable areas that are billed through DDSN, deleting any reference to specific early intervention, residential, that kind of thing. Again, we have through DDSN. We added some verbiage that they need to perform sufficient work to. That's just consistent with the verbiage that we have in consumer personal funds. Again, to perform sufficient work. In the past, we have had some audits come in that didn't quite have a large a sample as we would like to have seen. So that's adding that. Next, if we skip over to page 9, again, this is dealing with the ROAP. Item 3 talks about minimum salary. Again, we're just deleting the reference to the early interventionist. There's also deleting, because when we had that, we said the early interventionist had to be paid minimum for all hours worked, including whether it was admin time or service time. We're getting rid of all that because, again, that requirement will go away. And I think, as far as the actual directive is concerned, that covers all those changes. We do have a template of the report, and we made a change to the template on the back page, where it talks about minimum salary, where we have deleted the reference to early interventionist and the minimum salary for early interventionist. So I think that's it for 27504. Any questions?
No, not for me.
No questions for me. Lori, Vicky?
None from the peanut gallery. None from the peanut gallery.
Well, on the early intervention, you're saying that, I'm getting some feedback or something.
We can hear you.
Okay, on early intervention, you're saying because the billing mechanism is to be changed on July 1. I don't know why that is happening. It must be my phone. Then you don't have any say in what salaries are anymore?
Correct. Currently, what was happening is under EI, we contracted for the boards, we signed a contract with them for a set amount, and that's per position. And so when we did that, we mandated a minimum salary. But we won't be doing early intervention in that manner anymore. It will be going fee for service.
Okay, so we don't have any requirements for salaries or how much they pay,
Moving forward, correct.
even though they're billing us and not DHHS.
Well, with early intervention for birth to up to 3, that's going to be direct billed to HHS, and then 3 to 6 will be billed through us. So the mechanism is changing a little bit in terms of they will direct bill for birth up until age 3.
Okay, have we had some providers direct billing before in early intervention?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
No.
Any other questions?
Nope.
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 Okay. If we move on to 27506, the changes that I just covered in 27504 are going to be identical with one exception. On page 7 of that document, last year when we updated this, it was in our oversight that we forgot to add the CPA compliance statement letter. And that's where we asked the CPA firm to simply send a letter saying that they have read the directive and they have complied with it. For those ROAPs we got this year, we did reach out to each CPA firm and we asked them to send us this compliance letter, all of which have done so willingly. So we're just adding this in. And then, of course, we have all the other changes that we talked about in 27504, where we're making those changes either grammatical or to address the early intervention, removing the minimum salary for early intervention. And I'd be happy to go through this page by page.
To that.
I'm sorry?
I've got one question on page 7 there after your CPA compliance statement.
Yes, sir.
In every other part of the directive, you had changed DSN board to the contracted service provider. And I was wondering if, that needed to be true here too.
I agree.
You've got DSN board, you give a copy. actually the contracted service provider that should give a copy.
Yes, sir. You're talking about on page 8?
7 and 8, yeah, the CPA compliance statement or letter.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much. That should be contracted service provider. We'll make that change.
Any other questions or observations with regard to 27506?
Not for me.
Nope,
Vicki, Lori?
No.
none from me.
All right, then what I'm going to do then is, rather than take a motion, since there's technically only 2 of us on the committee at this point in time, Sam, I'm just going to call for a vote on each one as far as carrying over to the commission as a whole. So all those in favor of 27504DD changes as proposed indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And I'm also in favor, so that one will carry forward. With regard to 27506-BD, all in favor as amended pursuant to the observation by Commissioner Broughton regarding the change to the CPA compliance statement letter section to change DSN board to the CSP language. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm also in favor, so that one will carry forward to the commission with a recommendation as well. Those 2 items on the agenda. Any other additional items that need to be taken up at this time by staff?
Not on our end. Again, very much appreciate your time so we can get this out to the CPA firms. And we will, just as a point of reference, we will forward this to the policy committee tomorrow.
No. I think you said this committee is more than 5.
Okay, good. Good. Then we will make those changes, get it
What
published.
we'll have to, and what we'll have to do, Kevin, is we will have to get approval from the commission as a whole. So you may want to hold off until technically they're not policy until they're at the commission meeting. So you probably want to hold off on forwarding them out to anybody until it's been approved as a whole.
Right. We'll
Gary,
get those changes.
I told that there was no need for both committees to review the same documents. And that
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Yeah, so the full commission would come from your committee, and there's no point in the policy committee. There's only like 2 other people, so I mean, and we're going to vote in the full commission.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I agree that's how it should be. Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Kevin, if you can just make sure that can you just make sure that as part of the agenda for that meeting, that these items are part of the packet that's distributed out to the commission as a whole for us to vote on.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hearing nothing else, I will then adjourn the meeting and thank everybody for attending today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Have a good day.